Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Today we're going to continue our little adventure of bands I have trouble pronouncing with this week's recommendation, who comes from Hardcore Metal Fanatic. He says you probably won't see this. Spoiler alert, I did. But the band Xanthochroid has some very good songs in the same vein of this style. I believe this comment came off of a Nail Play with Scars video. He says you should check out their song To Higher Climes. So we have Xanthochroid. If I'm saying it right, it has a nice little bounce to it, and it gets easier every time you say it. Otherwise, I'm saying it totally wrong, and I guess that's valid as well. So the song is To Higher Climes Where Few Might Stand. And I guess let's get into this. Now I noticed that says climbed without a B, like it's not climbing things, so I wonder what that word means. Nice use of chorus and reverb. Nice little drum fill there. Real gorgeous stuff. The composition is just phenomenal. Very, very epic. And that clean range. Great use of a choir too. I'm just really digging like everything they're doing here. I can get behind that transition. Nice little orchestral stings. A small tempo shift, just a little faster. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting use of overlaying the two vocal lines there. The last word of the previous sentence was sung with the first word of this sentence. Kind of melds the two, makes it a little more difficult to understand. If the lyrics weren't there, I would just completely have missed that. Interesting though. Nice little flute here. Not really a solo, but just holding the melody down. I think the acoustic guitar right here is doing some nice arpeggiation. It's hard to single it out with all the instruments, but I'm pretty sure I'm hearing arpeggios back there. Beautiful vibrato, holding out that youth. This song is so good. I got this dumb smile on my face for this whole song. Some nice bells going on in the background to kind of widen out the orchestral sounds. And I'll finish it out on a xylophone. Yeah. Yeah, that was a work of art. Yeah, Metal Fanatic. That was just fantastic. Thanks so much for that request. We have to get into this. I think a lot about what I loved about this band can really be summed up in the chorus, or what I would consider to be the closest thing to a chorus. There wasn't really much repetition in the song at all, but there was one section that was repeated once, and it was played maybe the third part at the beginning, and it was the last vocal part right before the end of the song. And it has masterful drum technique that kind of alternates between kind of this more technical rhythmic area. It does that for like 8 bars, and then it switches to double bass kicks, kind of wall of sound metal. And then above that you have your guitars playing, and then you have your orchestra doing a mix between like orchestral stingers where you get the bum bum bum, and you get these short little stings. But then they also have some nice melodic lines that they just kind of run through. And then you top all that off with the two vocalists trading off 2-bar phrases. And it's one of the most, I don't really want to say famous, but one of the most standout um, ideas to do counterpoint with. When I hear somebody do a 2-bar phrase or something, or a 4-bar phrase, or they do their line and then they hold out the last note so that the other person has something to play their line above, and then that person holds out their last note so that the first person has something to play above. That's just, it's counterpoint. You have two melodies competing for the same space, but they're intentionally ducking out of the song for a second, and playing something less attention grabbing, usually holding notes, so that the other person can have the spotlight. And it's just this dance where they're shifting the spotlight between the two, and just all of that comes together in an amazing section to the song. I mean, every section was good, but that chorus specifically just hits me. That is what I love to listen to in music. It has really beautiful composition, really technical composition. It has a bunch of layering that doesn't get in each other's way. It's everything. It has technical drumming. It has speed drumming. It's just everything is amazing in that section. If I could listen, well, I wouldn't want to listen to a whole song like that. You need the breaks. You need the rest of what this track did. But that part specifically just speaks to me so much. There's a lot going on, but it's not so much that it becomes distracting. You can see each part. You can see where they fit into the picture. It's just real gorgeous composition. And like I said, the rest of the song is no slouch either. Um, there's some really great stuff, and I like how they don't mind pulling in an instrument for a single section. I don't know if they're doing it with samples or if they just have a plethora of instruments just kind of sitting around and they just pick them up as they need them. But they had a woodwind type instrument playing in closer to the end, but it somewhere in the middle endish area. Not really a solo, just kind of holding the melody out for 8 bars or something like that, and you never hear it again. Maybe it's there. I mean, maybe it just gets lost in the mix. But most of the song that you hear is string based. You hear the orchestra, you hear the guitars, and then the xylophone at the end played like 8 notes just to tie the song up. Ugh. I can't imagine that they will bring this plethora of instruments, this smorgasbord of instruments around when they're touring. I'm pretty sure feasibly it would be done, with samples, digital. But I would love just to see everything done live. You play an instrument once and you put it in its box. You don't need it for the rest of the show, but it was there. You had it for that one moment that you decided you needed it in a composition. Um, I'd love to see that. Like I said, it's not exactly feasible. Just like the whole orchestra thing, I don't expect them to tour with an orchestra. But it would be nice. I'd love to see every instrument played live, and there are a lot of instruments in this song. Um, I am just really blown away with this. And the story, I said in the middle that the whole sound was epic. And I think the orchestra has a lot to do with that. But also the lyrics. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to them. I was trying to keep up what was happening musically with the song. But I had my eyes on the lyrics for a good portion of the song, and there is a lot to do with uh, family and events that happened, and I believe I remember something about an exile, and it's just this big, epic story, it seems, on top of this epic music, and I'm going to have to go back and listen to this, specifically for the lyrics, and see how that fits in with my understanding of the music that I paid attention to this time. But this song is just amazing. I just it's kind of hard to put into words because it's just so good. And it's long. We have 8 minutes of highly layered music. There's a lot going on. I could probably talk another 30 minutes about stuff that I didn't pick up on this time, that if I listened to again and again and again, and I kind of, more planned out what I wanted to talk about and turn it into more of a proper analysis, I could probably talk about this song for half hour. There's a lot going on, and I'm sure it's all just really good stuff. So yeah, Xanthochroid. Has anybody else heard about this? I mean, this is a band that I have one recommendation for, or request for. I guess they're kind of the same thing. Yeah, a single person requested it one time. That's uh, that's not unusual. I have a lot of bands with only one request, but for something this good, I kind of expect more people to know about it. I guess. Hidden gems, though, stuff flies under the radar. I get it, but have you heard of this before? If not, are you impressed? Are you impressed as I am? Because this is just, oh man. And let me know in the comments. Is this your first time? Have you heard of these guys before? If you have heard about them before, why have you not recommended them to me? Seriously. If you have a band that you know about that's like this, it's just amazing on all levels, just recommend it to me, dude. Seriously. These bands with one recommendation and they're just amazing. It's a crime. It's a crime that they don't have more recognition. Uh yeah. And while you're down there in the comments, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll be back tomorrow with another band that I have a hard time pronouncing, and I will probably get told in the comments the proper way to say it. And that's a good thing. Yeah, don't turn it into a shame thing. Turn it into a lesson. Helps me learn, and I can pronounce new bands, so I don't want to sound like an idiot next time I talk about them. Alright, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. as usual, and until then, you have a fantastic day.